Roberts has blistered it to left center field, and it ain't coming back. And he's still got real estate. He makes it the way. Well, hello, everyone. We welcome you to Robbinsville High School for the finale of today's three-game tilt. It is Robbinsville and Andrews clashing in Smoky Mountain Conference action here on the Graham Star Sports Network. This is our first telecast of Robbinsville volleyball in quite some time, but we're glad all of you were able to join us on this Saturday afternoon. If you're watching this in a time capsule in the future, of course, this is a Saturday makeup matchup. This matchup scheduled originally for Tuesday, October the 1st, and as you see on your screen, we end up having to play it 4 days later. That, of course, largely due to the hurricane that moved through western North Carolina last week, and everyone's still trying to kick out from that. So the game was pushed back, and here we are with the Lady Knights once more. Hey fans, how you doing? Kevin Hensley with you here on GrahamStarSports.com. Robbinsville has kept busy. It's been since August the 27th since we've been able to bring you Lady Knights volleyball here on Graham Star Sports, and we're with you for the duration down the stretch, as Robbinsville will have Swain County here on Tuesday, of course, at home, and the regular season finale Thursday against Cherokee. Robbinsville will also have to squeeze in one more makeup game to make up for the hurricane postponements, and that will be a trip to Murphy on Monday. We will not be able to carry that game, but the Lady Knights have carved out quite a niche for themselves since we've seen them. They have played 11 matches in between the break. Of course, some other scheduling conflicts here and there. We were unable to get here like we thought we would, but we're here today and very privileged to be bringing you Robbinsville volleyball once again here on the Graham Star Sports Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes. So the Andrews Lady Wildcats are doing their second warm-up session at the moment, so we're going to step aside. All right, volleyball fans, we're back with you here on the Graham Star Sports Network. And as we mentioned during our intros, one of the Lady Knights is a homecoming queen. And I say one of them because there's two of them. How can you even decipher that? We'll talk more about the events that unfolded just last night over at the Big Oaks. Two homecoming queens crowned, but one of them is senior Claire Barlow. You'll see her on the court most of the night, as a matter of fact, here on the Graham Star Sports Network. We'll welcome aboard our first quarter sponsor. It is Farley Contracting and Disposal. And set one, set to go. Andrews will get the opening serve here on the Graham Star Sports Network. That was Beth Shook that fired it, or excuse me, it was Madison Quinn, I beg your pardon. But Robbinsville knocks it out anyhow and takes a 1-0 lead here in the early going. And it's going to be Queen again to the line. Olivia Lewis with the reception for Robbinsville. Another senior. She was first runner-up on the homecoming court last night. Robbinsville back to taking care of action and business, we hope, of course, here in the Smoky Mountain Conference now. Only 4 matchups. It's hard to believe the season's kind of flew by. And we're just 4 matches away from the conference tournament commencing. That will be held at Cherokee this year. Unfortunately, because it's at Cherokee, we will not be able to live stream it. Used to have that flexibility at Andrews, but that has changed since COVID dissipated. It's 2-1, and how about freshman Loxley Burke at the top of the rotation tonight for Robbinsville, getting her first serve of the evening. Big spike in the middle, and that's a huge kill by Juliet Holloway here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Makes it 3-1. Ball fired, received by Surrey Waddy, pass from Hooper, and a big kill by Barlow. That's our first one of the night, as the senior from Tuskegee will take the ball and drop it into no man's land, so to speak. Ren Hooper will approach the service line for her first attempt here tonight for Robbinsville. Shantia Rattler will try to spike it back over, but not enough on it. And we're all knotted up at 3 apiece here on Gramstar Sports. We hope you've been able to join us for our entire telecast today. We're only just now, of course, picking up the microphone, but JV and middle school action came your way to open us up. And we're going to try to do the exact same thing on Tuesday against Swain County. That will be pink night, by the way, here at Robbinsville. So you'll see a much more colorfully adorned gymnasium when we come back to you on Tuesday. Barlow's tip, and it throws Rattler and Holloway off. It'll be 4-3 advantage, Lady Knights. Pepper still serving. Shout out to her uncle watching with us this afternoon in South Dakota. Welcome, and we welcome everyone that's tuned in here on the Gramstar Sports Network. We stream 5 varsity sports for Robbinsville High School all year long. We do football and volleyball in the fall, basketball in the winter, and, of course, baseball and softball carry us through the spring season. That ball, now you talk about no man's land. Barlow could do nothing with that up front. Lady Cats lead at 5-4 here in set 1. Holloway at the service line, and a big fire from Juliet Holloway. Pass from Burke to Waddy, who knocks it back over. And there's a set by Rattler. Big spike up front by Beth Shook. And excuse me, 6-4. Andrews up by 2. But if you're just now joining us, Robbinsville Middle School swept the opener 17-25, 9-25. And the JV Lady Knights just finished up a little bit ago. If we went to 3 sets, had to go to the tiebreaker. Robbinsville prevailed 15-25, 25-21, and 13-15. Daphne Barlow, another freshman, with the serve for the Lady Knights. Block up front, nicely done by Chloe Adams and Claire Barlow. And just like that, it's 6-6 here on Gramstar Sports. Good crowd on hand for a Saturday afternoon action. A lot of stuff going on around the region today. Youth volleyball had its weekend, or its usual weekend action, today at Murphy. That set of games was postponed for a week due to the hurricane, and they're having to make it up today. The championship tournament will be next Saturday at Snowbird here in Graham County. Daphne Barlow still serving for Robbinsville. It's a 7-6 advantage for the Lady Knights here in set 1. Pass from Hooper, spike by Barlow, and it's not going to get the job done, and Barlow will have to bump it back over that time to keep the ball alive here on Gramstar Sports. Ball drops, and Lady Wildcats have come to play here tonight. It's 7-7 here in set number 1. Trying to go back and find the last time these two programs played. Like I said, there's been 11 matches since we've seen them. Robbinsville did travel to Andrews on August the 29th and picked up a 3-0 victory, sweeping the way as Claire Barlow goes back to the service line. Robbinsville prevailed 25-17, 25-14, 25-16 in Cherokee County. Chloe Adams and Beth Shook, and Adams outfoxed her on that one. Good timing by the freshman Chloe Adams, and it's a 2-point advantage for Robbinsville here in set 1. Here's Barlow again. Thursday's action here on Gramstar Sports as that ball is spiked out of bounds by Beth Shook. Timeout. No, I thought head coach Shannon Mustin was going to call a timeout there. She, in fact, did not. My apologies. 7-10 now the split, literally and figuratively. Pass by Kaya Ellis, tipped over by Shook. Here's Carpenter. She's blocked up front. Good block by Rattler and Shook, but Robbinsville quickly recovers. And there's a push by Rattler. Pass from Hooper. Carpenter on the left side with a big delivery and no dice. Volley continues on. Robbinsville 2-4 in the Smoky Mountain Conference this year. It's not been their usual top-tier run that we've been accustomed to. Robbinsville has defeated Andrews, of course, and Murphy once. Losses have came against Cherokee, Swain County, and 2 to Hayesville, including Thursday night here at home. We were unable to be here for that one. We had to live stream, of course, the JV football championship game. Went to overtime. Swain County prevailed 22-20 in overtime to win the championship over Robbinsville, as the service error from Surrey Waddy will make it 9-11. Knights still lead by 2. Back at the line is Beth Shook for the Wildcats. Carpenter tips it, and it's received by Rattler. Holloway with a big kill in the middle, but it's snuffed out by Robbinsville. There's a push by Carpenter. Rattler pass to the left side, and that went right into the hands of junior Madison Queen, and it profited Andrews quite well as this tight set one continues here on Gramstar Sports. Pass, set, Adams gets it into a dangerous spot, and Miss Kaya Ellis can't do much with it. It's 10-12 as the libero, Olivia Lewis, will make her way onto the floor. Liz Carpenter was also on that homecoming court that we've talked about last night. Live stream was on our Gramstar Sports Network, but the parade earlier in the day is able to be watched right now for free on the Gramstar's Facebook page. It's already had over 4,000 views since 3 o'clock yesterday. The always popular homecoming parade. Good tip by Daphne Barlow. Robbinsville leads by 3 here in the opening set. And it's a spike across. Good serve by Lewis. How about that block by Hooper and Carpenter? But they're going to say there was a neutral zone infraction. Got under the net. Got on the line. And you can't do that. Point goes to Andrews. It'll make it 11-13. Service error by Andrews will quickly erase the comeback bid. Robbinsville up by 3 once more. Here's Loxley Burke as Robbinsville's already worked through its rotation. Service error for Burke will make it 12-14, so back-to-back service errors. But hey, it's points in the scorebook either way. Here comes Ellis with her serve. Waddy receives, passes to Hooper, Hooper to Barlow, and that kill will be out. Andrews trails by 1. So we read off those set scores. Of course, any team is expected to improve along the way during the season. That was probably Andrews. I believe that might have been their conference opener when Robbinsville beat them on the 29th. If not, it was only their second conference game of the year. So Andrews has regrouped nicely, and Robbinsville, no slouch either. Tough competition, a lot of road games. That's been the biggest thing about Robbinsville, and while we haven't seen them very often here on Gramstar Sports this year, they have had a road-heavy schedule. Claire Barlow finally puts an end to that back and forth. Like she just had enough at that point. 13-15. here in set one. Ren Hooper back to serve. Lady Knights have, of course, already traveled to Swain and Cherokee, and places like Inca has seen the Lady Knights this year. Hefty time away from home. They did have one home match in between. That was against Hiawassee Dam. Game was on Thursday, September the 12th. However, with the way things shook out in the Smoky Mountain Conference, the football team had to move its game up one day against Copper Basin, and we had to go live stream that one instead. Robbinsville did go undefeated against Little Smoky competition this year and has fared well considering how much time it has spent on the road. Holloway with a jump serve, and she serves it right into the net. That was a fastball that broke a little late. And the Lady Knights up 15-17 as Barlow will jog back to the perimeter. Set by Ellis over to the left side. Donaldson's kill attempt is snuffed out by Carpenter, and Adams is blocked. How about that save on the back row by Liz Carpenter? Waddy to Hooper to Barlow. It's going to be out. Big spike. Barlow doing big things up front here on the Grand Star Sports Network. It's 15-18. From 20 Sets fans, we'll talk to you about a couple of things that, quite frankly, we were going to present to you last night during the football telecast, but time just seemed to slip away like sands in the hourglass. Lady Knights finally with a little bit of breathing room now. It is a 4-point advantage here in set one. Waddy, Adams, they tried their darndest to keep it afloat, but could not do so. It'll be 16-19 now. As the ball goes back into Andrews' territory, it should be a Donaldson serve, and it is. The spunky senior, Kylie Donaldson, will fire away. And she fires it into the net. Don't think that's how they drew it up in the playbook, but we'll move on. $16-20 is the score. Here's Miss Barlow to serve right here below us. And it's a good serve. Donaldson receives it. Pass from Ellis. Shook is blocked up front and denied access by Chloe Adams. Robbinsville leads by 5. And Mustin has called the first timeout of the match. We'll step aside with her on GramStarSports.com.
I'm Liz Carpenter. I'm Claire Barlow. And this is the GramStar Sports Network.
Can you believe it only took us about 19 takes to get that bad boy in the can? Wonderful young ladies, Claire Barlow and Liz Carpenter. And Barlow serves as we're back live. It's 16-21 here on the GramStar Sports Network. Advantage Robbinsville. Adams with a kill attempt right in the middle. Donaldson with a diving save. And a return by Rattler will be successful. That back left corner was left open, and Andrews made them pay. 17-21 is the split at the moment. Thursday against Cherokee will be senior night and youth night, so a lot of moving parts will be here on Thursday. And yes, we'll bring all the festivities to you here on our website. Fans, just as a reminder, every time you buy a pay-per-view ticket to watch the Lady Knights or the Black Knights, depending on the sport, depending on the time of year, a portion of the proceeds from every single sale goes right back to the sport that you bought a ticket to watch. That ball is out. 17-22 as Robbinsville edges closer and closer to taking a 1-0 lead as Surrey Waddy steps up to the plate. And a service error. A lot of those here in the early going, and both teams just trying to get their druthers about them. It is an unusual day, of course, playing Saturday volleyball. That's normal in the club world, but not so much in the high school ranks. Youth football games today against Jackson County were canceled as Jackson County opted to bow out for the remainder of the season. Robbinsville will travel to Cherokee next week for another set of youth games, and we'll be back on the air with Robbinsville-Hayesville makeup youth football October 19th and 20th. And one to go with Olivia Lewis at the line. Robbinsville closing in on a 1-0 lead as Queen trying to end their hopes and dreams. I go to Queen again, and she threw everybody for a loop. Lewis tried to get a forearm on it, couldn't do so, and Andrews stays alive here in set one. Queen with a nice jump serve. Waddy receives it. Pass coming from Wren. Hooper set to Carpenter for the kill in the middle. That will take care of business. Robbinsville up 1-0 here on the Gramstar. And welcome back, everyone, to the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley with you for Saturday volleyball coverage of Andrews and Robbinsville duking it out in Smoky Mountain Conference action. Robbinsville just prevailed in the opening stanza, 19-25. Glad all of you have joined us here for Saturday afternoon action. Again, we'll be back Tuesday and Thursday with the Lady Knights, and we won't see them again until the postseason. And fingers crossed that the Lady Knights will progress to the playoffs. Liz Carpenter with a big serve to begin things here in set number 2. And Andrews able to get the upper hand on that exchange. Makes it 1-0 Wildcats. Welcome aboard our second quarter sponsor. How about this? Andrews based Lulay's graphic design. Our second set sponsor here this afternoon in Robbinsville. Holloway won that battle as well. It is 2-0. And that ball will fly out of bounds to the left. 3-0 Andrews here in set number 2. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good save by Shook and a bump back over by Ellis. Carpenter gets it. Pass from Hooper. Here's Barlow with a tip. And that'll get Robbinsville on the board here in set number 2. It's 3-1 advantage. Lady Wildcats at the moment. Qualify it at the moment. Brandon Hooper to serve. And it's a good serve. Andrews has to scramble to keep it afloat, and they do so. That is out. Robbinsville has cut it to 3-2 in the blink of an eye. Hooper to serve again. And how about an ace for Hooper? Ties it up 3-3 here on Gramstar Sports. And how about that for a denial? Thank you, Miss Barlow. That is going to make it 3-4. Robbinsville thunders back here on Gramstar Sports and is ahead. Donaldson and Barlow quickly exchange the ball. Donaldson that time will go to the back right corner. Waddy awaits her. Hooper to Daphne Barlow. Ellis sets. Donaldson on the left side, outside. Waddy, Carpenter, and Daphne Barlow make sure the ball stays in play. And another big denial up front. Clara Barlow will make it 3-5. Robbinsville has thundered back after dropping the first 3 points of this set. Here's Hooper. And that's a block by Holloway that the Lady Knights were not prepared for, to say the very least. 4-5. Good effort on both sides of the net. It's been a fun volleyball match to watch so far. We mentioned earlier, of course, Robbinsville 2-4 in the conference. They are currently in 4th place. There's only 6 teams left in the Smoky Mountain Conference now after the exit of Rosman a few years ago. The Lady Knights have won the conference championship 2 times since 2019. Are they replaying the point? I don't know if anyone knows what's going on, quite frankly. Still 4-5 on the scoreboard here in the gym, so they may be replaying it. They have put 4-6 up, but they've taken the point away. Put my headset off, trying to see if I could hear anything being discussed. I could not. Onward we go. It's 4-5. Andrews served it. And that ball is spiked and off the tip. Robbinsville does get that point back, so it's 4-6 now here in set 2. Daphne Barlow will serve again. Blocked again. Andrews was ready for it that time. Here's Hooper with a nice tip and a good read of the defense for that tip by junior Ren Hooper. Makes it 4-7 here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Donaldson with a floater. Here's Barlow with her own. 50% power behind that, just trying to throw everybody for a tizzy on the other side of the net. Carpenter from the back row with a push to keep it alive. Donaldson's spike is blocked by Barlow. Oh, baby. 4-8 here in set 2. Of course, the remaining matchups on the regular season slate will be at the usual suspect times. 4 for middle school, 5 for JV, 6 for varsity. And oh, by the way, any of those times I just rattled off to you have a huge asterisk next to them, because you never know how long a match previous will go. Andrews finally gets another point back, but Robbinsville still leads by 3. Kagan Buchanan tags in for Daphne Barlow in relief. I missed Buchanan earlier in the JV matchup. How about an ace for Juliet Holloway? And it's 6-8. Reception nicely done by Buchanan. Hooper to Chloe Adams outside. And she exposed the back left corner. Robbinsville back up 6-9. Clara Barlow will rotate to the back and serve. And that will be indefensible. There's a word for you. Donaldson put a lot of power behind that one, and Robbinsville could not get it properly blocked. It'll make it 7-9 here in set 2. So good to see so many people out supporting the Lady Knights here today. Donaldson serves. Carpenter tries the return, and that goes awry. Andrews trails by 1. Carpenter almost fired it back across the net. Robbinsville has a scramble to keep it going. Donaldson with a nice save on the back left side. That'll close up that hole. Barlow, Hooper, and now Kagan Buchanan will bump it back over. The 3-pass series concludes. Carpenter set by Hooper, back to Carpenter. Adams, and a lot of one-shot returns are going down right now. Rattler can't clear the hurdle, and Robbinsville leads 8-10. Sorry, Waddy to serve. And the dive by Ellis is going to be no dice. It'll be 8-11. Fans, if you haven't subscribed to the Graham Stars YouTube channel, I'll ask you the same question I asked you about buying a copy of the Graham Star itself. What are you waiting for? We are the only local media source in Graham County, and as such, we treat it as a multimedia task day in and day out. That includes launching our YouTube channel about 4.5 years ago, and we have a massive archive of community events, government meetings, and of course, our beloved Knights Athletics. Go check it out. Just click the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and every time we upload content, which is pretty frequently, at least several videos a week, we will ding your inbox. 8-12 is the score at the moment. Waddy still at the service line. Rattler will return it to the back row. Loxley Burke to Waddy, who calls everybody off for that second bump. And nice pass to Carpenter, set that one up. And the big senior from Carpenter Hollow takes the point. Caitlin Thompson comes in. That's a senior for Andrews. Comes in and gets an ace right off the bat. And that'll make it 9-13. Excuse me, make that back-to-back aces. And still pulling back ahead of Aids. Andrews led early in this set, 3-0. Robbinsville Thunder back, and an ace for Olivia Lewis. That'll work. Andrews will cut it down to about 1, and Robbinsville will get a point back and build upon it. 11-14 is the score at the moment as senior Olivia Lewis fires it over the net. And that ball is in, according to the line judge. 12-14 is the score. And that ball squeaks over. A huge sigh of relief on Laura White's face after that point. And once again, it's a 1-point deficit for Andrews here in set 2. Set by Ellis. Spike by Queen. Set by Hooper. Spike by Buchanan. Holloway with a big kill attempt in the middle. Barlow digs it out. Nice work. And Queen and Donaldson lose control of the process. It'll be 13-15. Liz Carpenter will slowly make her way back to retrieve the ball from around the locker room area. Ellis with a quick return. Jump serve, or jump set, excuse me, and a big kill by Barlow. 13-16 is your score. You talk about crucial playoff implications this week. Will make it or break it for Robbinsville. Of course, got to get by Murphy on Monday, of course. But after that, it's going to be Swain here on Tuesday, Cherokee on Thursday, and victories in those matchups would be nothing short of huge in shaking up the conference standings. Tip, and Waddy's got it. Here's Hooper back to Buchanan. It's going to be out. A little high and a little wide, and it's going to be 14-17. Shout out to Chevron. Chevron's watching with us today. Glad to have him with us here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Waddy receives Queen's serve. Here's Barlow. And it will be in on the back right side as no one was there for Andrews. And they'll pay dearly. Robbinsville has maintained the lead pretty much since the rally in the early part of this set. And how about Kennedy Spencer making an appearance on the floor? She'll be serving next. And that ball drops. Barlow and Lewis both thought the other was going to take care of it, but you got to communicate. 15-18 is your score here in set two. Coming up in between sets, we'll relive a couple of still frames from last night where Miss Barlow was crowned the homecoming queen. What a moment it was. It was a historic moment in Robbinsville history. We don't know of another time that there have been co-queens. There was a tie for first place. Now, we've had ties for first runner-up and second runner-up. But this year, the top billing was a split vote. It was Claire Barlow and Jocelyn Garland crowned the homecoming queens. And we had it for you live on our website here. And we'll clip it out later and make it present and available on our YouTube channel free of charge. Of course, the games that we stream here, you will see again after the seasons are over. Timeout called, and we'll take it with them. You're watching the Graham Star Sports Network. Please stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. It is 15-20 here in set two. Here is Kagan Buchanan. There's a nice line drive. Andrews trying to recoup. Robbinsville up by 5 here in the latter part of set two. Liz Carpenter dove for it on the back row. Could not get there. And that will make it 16-20. Robbinsville still in the driver's seat at the moment. Juliet Holloway to jump serve. Nice reception by Buchanan. Ends up with the return as well. And that one fell into a tough spot. It was off of Claire Barlow's fingertips. Buchanan dove for it. But the backspin was a little too much to handle. And it's 17-20. And they play the ball out from under the net, and that got their hopes and dreams up for a moment on the Wildcats side of things, but not meant to be. 17-21 is your score. Here is Claire Barlow to serve, hoping to finish it out against these Wildcats, but a service error is going to negate the effort. Andrews hanging around still here in set 2. Kylie Donaldson will serve. And that serve was a little too powerful. Robbinsville will get it back with 3 to go. Surrey Waddy will take to the service line. And Andrews prevails again on that point. 19 to 22. Again, still lingering. Exchange coming. Buchanan will sit down. Barlow will tag back in. Legendary oldest sibling of the Barlow bunch, Ava, is with us this afternoon from UNC Chapel Hill. Kennedy Spencer will pass it to Carpenter, and it's a good pass, but it's handled nicely by the Wildcats. And returned. Adams to Rattler, who got under it, but put a little bit of globe spin on it, we'll call it. And it's 19-23. 2 to go for Robbinsville to take a 2-0 advantage. Won the first set 19-25. Hoping to do the same here. Lewis will serve it out. I tell you, Robbinsville's struggling today at the service line, to say the very least. And the Carpenter-Holloway battle ends up being a tip, and nobody on Andrews' side of the net could scramble enough to gather it. 1 to go. Liz Carpenter will try to close it out. Another service error for Robbinsville. Well, those have been costly here in set 2. I'm served by Queen, set by Spencer. Here's Barlow with a spike that they'll try again. It's saved by Daphne Barlow. Olivia Lewis passes it on the back row to Carpenter. It is out. And Andrews trails 22-24. Spencer to Barlow for the victory, just as she done in set 1. It'll be 22-25 now with the 2-0 advantage. We'll be back in 3. And I'm checking out the rotations now, so we're just about set to go with set 3 on Gramstar Sports. Addison Queen will serve for Andrews as we resume play. Robbinsville up 2-0 in the matchup. Just needs one more, of course, to put it away. And a service error will do the trick. That'll get us started. 1-0 here in set number 3. Liz Carpenter to serve. And it's a doozy that Shook creeps over to the middle to save. Donaldson returns it to Waddy. Good dig on the back row by Surrey Waddy. One of the most versatile athletes you'll find at Robbinsville High School. Tied up at 1-1 now after the return goes out. Gaia Ellis with the ace for Andrews. And Lady Cats take a 2-1 advantage. Barlow with a big spike. I mean, a powerful kill for Barlow. When it's set right, she can fire a laser beam. Ren Hooper will head back to the line to serve. Here's Daphne Barlow with a big spike. Barlow pass to Hooper, jump, set, and how about a jump kill? But it doesn't work out exactly the way they drew it up. Donaldson will bump it back over to Robbinsville's side of the net after the series fails for the Wildcats. I want to thank Cheyenne Gear for getting pictures of us, for us, I should say, here today. And you'll see some of her work in the upcoming edition of the Graham Star as well. We were unable to have our beloved sports photographer Jacqueline Gaoso with us today. Had a family commitment. It was Saturday, so how about that? And that's the biggest celebration. You would think Robbinsville just won the Smoky Mountain Conference because Ren Hooper got a block up front. Wow. What excitement. And there's a block for Barlow and Adams. That front row D is looking sharp here in set number 3. Barlow with the drive to the back row. Holloway receives it. There's the pass and the return by Donaldson. Libero is Allie Gibson. That's another senior for Andrews. Robbinsville only has 3 this year, and there's a freshman at the service line. That is Miss Daphne Barlow. Robbinsville leading at the moment 3-2-6. Upper to Barlow. Off of Holloway on the back row, and Robbinsville is building some early momentum here in set 3. Daphne Barlow will continue her luck at the back. And good effort. Holloway dives for it, just narrowly misses, crashing into those chairs after Allie Gibson's reception. And it's 3-8, and Shannon Mustin wants to find out why. We'll be right back, fans, on the Graham Star Sports Network.
My name is Olivia, and this is the Graham Star Sports Network.
Thank you, Liv. Another one of the seniors for Robbinsville welcomes us back. It's a 3-8 advantage here in set 3 on GrahamStarSports.com. We have got some hilarious outtakes of those segments that we shot earlier this year with not only the volleyball team, but of course the football team as well. And we're going to put together a compilation of that to show you in the future. We'll have a blooper reel. Hilarity will ensue. May have to get out my censor button, but we're not going to dwell on that too much right now. Robbinsville pulling away is 3-10 here in set 3. By far their biggest lead of the afternoon, as a matter of fact. With some tightly knit sets here in Graham County. Adams tries to hit that back left corner we've talked about, and she hit it a little too hard. Flies out of bounds. Andrews gets the point back. Our third set sponsor you see on the screen, RCM Real Estate. We appreciate them joining us here on Graham Star Sports for the year-long journey. You see on our sponsor loop every time we throw that up that you can buy a weekly, monthly, or yearly sponsorship package, and we'll promote your business numerous times throughout any of our telecasts, whether it be a meeting or a sporting event. It was called the Graham Star. That's 828-479-3383 for more details. Claire Barlow is back to serve. The crowd from Andrews traveled over this afternoon as well for all 3 matchups. Frankly, that ball is going to be out. And Robbinsville continues to build an advantage. It's now 4-12. That's an 8-point spread for the Lady Knights. Claire Barlow gets an ace. Well, what would a queen be without an ace? Thank you very much. 4-13. Alexis Miller is going to tag in. Liz Carpenter will get a breather. And I believe they've played everybody at their disposal at this point. Have Robbinsville. Rattler got to it, but no one else could. Kylie Donaldson and Kai Ellis tried to keep it covered. Robbinsville leading by 10 here in set 3. Thompson will tag in for Rattler for back row defense. Barlow still serving. Claire Barlow, I should say. I was looking to polish this one off, and Thompson gets that one right off her left bicep. But that's not going to be returnable if she does that. 4-15 is now the score. Kind of a hush here in the gym today. There are a lot of fans below us as well as across the way, as you can see on our video camera. But Barlow squeaks that one over the net for another ace, and her lengthy run continues at the service line. And Alexis Miller tries for a kill, can't get it, but she's in there nonetheless. We saw her in the JV matchup earlier. A lot of freshmen. I talked with assistant coach Kinsley Phillips about that yesterday. Robbinsville has 11 freshmen in the program this year for volleyball, so if they all stick with it, that's going to be one packed senior class in about 3 years. Barlow sent that one to Sweetwater Road, unfortunately, and that'll end her lengthy stint at the service line. Robbinsville's opened up a 12-point advantage. Caitlin Thompson back to serve for the Wildcats. Barlow receives it. Adams and Alexis Miller can't do much with it. It's going to be 6-17 now. Hooper to Barlow to Miller, and it's back over. Donaldson will pass it to Ellis, who sets for Shook. And that ball will drop out of bounds, but Miller touched the net, so they're going to give the point to Andrews. 7-17 is the score. And Thompson sends that one to the nosebleeds. Errant serve there, 7-18. Loxley Burke will now head to the service line. Donaldson returns it. Boy, what a mad scramble by the Wildcats just to keep it going. Ren Hooper sends it to the back right corner, and I mean it barely stayed in, but that's all that mattered as it did. And the team breaks out with a nice encouraging chant from Miss Hooper. Uncle Bobo must have popped big time over in South Dakota. 8-19 is the score here in set 3. And Lauren White has tagged in to serve for Andrews, who's just trying to do whatever he can right now to keep this match alive. 6 points away. Make that 5 points away from the hosting Lady Knights. Taking the sweep this afternoon. So it will be Olivia Lewis to serve. Adams will tag out. And it's an ace for Olivia Lewis. Makes it 8-21. Again, fans, we'll have broadcasts for you Tuesday and Thursday. It'll be volleyball action. And time permitting, we'll do our very best, of course, to bring you the middle school and JV matchups that precede the varsity games that we do bring to you here on Graham Star Sports. And you get all that for $6.99. That's a great deal. That's 3 games for $7. We'll try to buy enough items off the value menu to fill your belly up nowadays with $7. You can't do it. And Queen's serve will be a little too powerful for her own good. It'll be 9-22 now, as Robbinsville is rapidly closing in on the finale of this one. Alexis Miller will get a chance to serve. And it's high, and it's back, and it is out. Boy, that was close. But hey, they sent her back there to give it a crack. What else you going to do? Practice makes perfect. Andrews breaks into double digits finally in this one, and that's odd to say because the first 2 sets, that wasn't much of a struggle for either side. Robbinsville just dominated here in set 3. The Lady Cats have just kind of fell apart, kind of quit talking. There's a little communication from them. And Robbinsville, in exchange, has taken advantage by exposing a lot of flaws on the defensive side of things and taking advantage of items like that. Callie Donaldson will return it out. Ren Hooper looks to be the one to finish things up here in set 3. From the service line. And the dive by Lauren White's going to be no dice. Sally Ledford will fire it back over. 2 to go for Robbinsville. Shantia Rattler will tag back in for Miss Taylor. Or Thompson, I beg your pardon. Here's the return by Holloway, and it's going to be a little too much. The Lady Cats playing down to the final point here, so to speak. I suppose that was all. Okay, then. I don't think anyone in tennis knew that. They must have the scoreboard wrong. I missed a point or something along the way. That's going to be the end of the night. Well, how about that? 11:25 is how this one will end up here this afternoon in Robbinsville. And we appreciate all of you joining us. The final set scores, we'll run through it once again. 19-25, 22-25, and 11-25. We'll be back Tuesday, fans. Please join us once again here on pay-per-view on the Graham Star Sports Network. Until then, this is Kevin Hensley, wishing all of you a great rest of your weekend. And Roberts has blistered it to left center field, and it ain't coming back. And he's still got real estate. He makes the